Lufthansa cockpit did vote for a strike. Lufthansa ground crew numbers have been released, and they showed us that other ground handling and ground crew companies or service providers did negotiate contracts already with the union, that the pay is better and Lufthansa is a cheapo. airBaltic crews are now allowed to show tattoos with some exceptions. Piercings are allowed, haircuts allowed, so we see that. We have an important announcement in regards of the Lufthansa Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. They will maybe getting delivered in August. Yes, this August. We did wait a long time. British Airways stopped selling tickets from London Heathrow, at least for a week. And deal zone deal. We have a deal from the US to the Middle East via Europe. Business class, $2,150. My name is Lars. I'm here to bring you more miles, more points, and more status. Thank you for subscribing, for hitting the notification button that you do not miss any episode of Frequent Traveler TV. Take off your daily dose for your miles, points, and status. Please comment, please leave us a like. Thank you for the support for the algorithm. Yes, regular table, I have to say. Yes, that I have to mention. Frankfurt, but before that we have Munich. Munich on the 12th of August, 13th of August is Frankfurt, 14th of August is Berlin. If you want to join, send me a message or go into the WhatsApp groups. There you will get the latest information on groups and where we meet. Yes, the first topic is the cockpit. The cockpit of Lufthansa is not happy with Lufthansa, and that is a long time already ago. Since early this year, they are negotiating about new contracts because the contract finished end of June, I think. It was a kind of a COVID plan, and the cockpit wants to have a so-called Reallohnverlustausgleich. Yes, that is a German word, and that means they want to have real salary loss coverage, compensation. And they in the union did vote if they are going to go on strike, and they did vote with 93.2% of the members did vote. And in Lufthansa Cargo, 95.7% did vote. And of these, did 97.6 in the Lufthansa cockpits and 99.3 in the cargo cockpits vote for a strike. So they are ready to strike. They just have to announce to the management of Lufthansa, we are going on strike. So the legal obligations they have are fulfilled, but it is only a threat. So how do you explain it? They want to explain to Lufthansa, we are ready to do what it needs to do to get our voice heard. And that is what Lufthansa has to understand in their opinion, that they are ready. But, and that is the good news for us, they are not to go on strike. They are waiting how Lufthansa is behaving. And as they are negotiating over a long time, you see the difference to the other unions. When you see the, for the ground people from Lufthansa, they went after 2 negotiation rounds on strike. I think they had 5 with the cockpit or even more. But there you see the difference. And they said, we don't want to go on strike because we don't want to cause more mayhem than there is already. And we saw on Wednesday, 132,000 people were affected by the Lufthansa strike of the ground crew. And even other airlines were suffering who get the Lufthansa ground handling. That was, in my opinion, a very bad timing. But anyways, when you say with the cockpit, yeah, that is a luxury problem. Yeah, it's not so a luxury problem because the cockpit, the people who earn more than 200,000 euros a year, that is not a lot anymore. And the cockpit people are getting less, and even when they have younger contracts, they don't get as much as they used to get. And they, some of them, of course, when they made their own type ratings that they can fly, they have 100,000 euros debt Yes, they have debt already and they still have to repay. And to repay it, they need the money. And when the prices are rising, that is not easy for them. And they say, we want to have this real salary, like I told before, Reallohnausgleich, Reallohnverlustausgleich, real salary loss compensation. And this said, they are just showing what they can do compared to the others who did go on strike. And that was, in my opinion, unreasonable. But let's see how long the cockpit is standing still from that. And Swiss is the same problem. The union Aeropers, which is the union there, they didn't say that they did like the offer from Swiss, and they are making trouble as well. So we have no solution there. And Switzerland, Germany, they have problems. And in case of strike of, for example, if Swiss is going on a strike, they can bring people with Lufthansa somewhere. But when Lufthansa and Swiss together are on strike, we have a problem. And that doesn't work. I had it once during a strike that they changed it from Lufthansa to Swiss and I could fly with Swiss out. But when both are on strike, it's a headache and a non-nice situation. But comment there if you think that it's okay that they are going on strike or not. One ground handling company is Lufthansa, but there are others. There is AHS, there is Avia Partner, there is Acciona or Acciona, I don't know how you pronounce it, Fraground from Frankfurt Airport, Stuttgart Ground Services. And those did actually sign an agreement with the union. And the agreement is interesting because without a strike, they got up to 26%. Can you imagine 26%? And that is a real, ein Reallohnausgleich. That is a real salary compensation for the loss. And that is what they're happy for. But they said Lufthansa is not so nice because in Lufthansa, the people earn per hour 13.26 euros. AHS in Cologne and Düsseldorf, another provider, they pay 14.19 euros. Then the provider in Cologne and Düsseldorf, that was 14.19. Then in Düsseldorf and Hamburg, Avia Partner, which is another other company, they get even 14.45 euros. And you see the difference, Lufthansa only giving 13.26 euros, that's over €1 and a little bit. Of course, we have to understand if you multiply it with the employees, multiply it with the hours, it's really a chunk of money. We have to pay it. We have to pay it as passengers because the prices are rising. That is unfortunate. And you will see it when I talk about British Airways as well, that we have trouble coming up as well when it comes to pricing. There was trouble and is trouble with some airlines when it comes to uniform standards and grooming and so on. Image and uniform is for a lot of airlines synonymous because the uniform is the image of the airline. For that reason, they didn't allow people to show tattoos, piercings or haircuts which are crazy or not considered mainstream, if you say it that way. In the Middle East, for example, in Emirates Airlines, there I know it by heart, there they have even, you have to have the hair in a certain manner. Men are not allowed to have the hair shorter than this. There are a lot of rules. But airBaltic did change the rules. And they say, we want to give the people who are working for us more freedom to express themselves. And that the tattoos are something which show their individual being, how they are, how they want to be with the tattoos, with the, like I said, with a haircut and piercings. I personally, for myself, I do not like piercings. I do not like tattoos, but that is my personal opinion for my body, for myself. And I don't care if somebody else wants to have a tattoo, wants to have a piercing. Hey, do it if you want it. Especially if you want to have more tattoos, more piercings. Pierce everything what you want. To a certain extent, of course, because then it gets... But anyways, it's everybody's personal opinion. I never understood why people consider that a tattoo is saying something about people, about their work ethics, about their way, how they treat people, if they're good in service or bad or whatever. That said, my hairdresser, for example, he is fully tattooed in the face, but he cuts the hair nice, in my opinion. Of course, you can disagree, as I'm wearing often a cap. But anyways, I'm happy with him. And the tattoos, I don't care. I wouldn't do a tattoo. This said, actually, in airBaltic, tattoos on the neck or in the face still not allowed. Have to be covered or at least not visible. And so one said even in the comments, yeah, they are maybe running faster away from the aircraft when they have tattoos, or their service ethics is not as good as other people, so that is not okay. But that was a joke, because he said, of course it doesn't say anything about the people. And this said, we have service with people who have no tattoos, and we have trouble with them because they are not delivering. And we have people who are delivering with tattoos and piercings. So, hey, thank you, airBaltic, for changing that and giving the people the freedom to choose and to express themselves with certain limitations, of course. But that should be for sure that there are common sense. I mean, that you want to have some things which you see here which are illegal or problematic with what they are saying. Nobody wants that. Please comment if you think that is a smart move of airBaltic, if this is something where you say, welcome to 2022, or you say, I don't like people with tattoos. I'm interested in your opinion. I'm looking forward. Before I come to the next topic where Lufthansa is looking forward, the Boeing 787 is the topic. Lufthansa said even, I did read it in the forum, am I entitled for compensation because of the strike? Yes, you are. European, the compensation says EU 261/2004 says very clearly that they have to compensate you when you're delayed, depending on the distance, blah, 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 250 to 600 euros. That is what it is. And there is already a ruling from the court. European court said, hey, strike is not force majeure, blah, blah, blah. But Lufthansa said now to the yellow press, to German Bild-Zeitung, we promise you we pay. That I wanted to say, that if you have a demand of compensation with Lufthansa, do not forget to file it. And very importantly, they promised to pay, at least to the Bild-Zeitung. If they're not paying, or if you have any questions in general, comment, write me a WhatsApp. You know how to do it. Now we are coming to Lufthansa's Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's a 787-9. Did we think it was coming? Yes. Did we know when it was coming? No. Did we expect it earlier? Yes. We expected it last year. But now it's coming maybe in August, because the FAA did come to a compromise with Boeing. Of course, they didn't compromise with safety, as they figured out with Boeing how to get rid of the splinters and the other things which are in the aircraft and even in the tank. And that can be a problem. I mean, of course, when you have there a splinter or something which is going through the wire and the wire dies over the years, that's a safety issue. And in the tank, when into the fuel, into the engine comes some dirt and metal things that can kill the engine. And if you are over the Pacific, the Atlantic, or the Mediterranean, or anywhere, Mediterranean is not so difficult because then you can just glide somewhere left, right. But anyways, over water, it's not nice. If the engine starts burning, problem. We don't want it, so the FAA said, stop delivering of the 787s. That was last October, it was 2020 already, October 2020. And now Boeing has still 120 aircrafts which can be delivered, and they found a solution. In May they said, hey, we don't have all paperwork, FAA is they in this case, but now they have paperwork and they are satisfied. So we can start to deliver, said Boeing, and maybe Lufthansa gets lucky that they get now their long-awaited Boeing 787-9er Dreamliner with the registration Delta Alpha Bravo Papa Alpha and the name Berlin. That will be the future name of the aircraft, and we are looking forward to it. Hopefully the interior will be nicer. We are promised, I think, intermediary business class, which is between the actual business class, not to mix with the Philippine Airlines, formerly aircraft which are flying from Munich, the A350s. So These aircrafts are getting something new. I hope they are getting it as well, because those were, like I said, promised to Vistara, and before somebody else was interested, I hope that they could get new seats in Lufthansa. Looking forward. Are you looking forward to the 787 Dreamliner? I hope so. British Airways has no problem with aircrafts. They have no problem with other things except the London Heathrow Airport, because they capped at 100,000 passengers the airport and said, do not bring the passengers more than 100,000 or pick up more than 100,000. That is the limitation. The same limitation was with Emirates. Emirates was still fighting it, but British Airways said, no, that is reasonable, that is not a problem. We don't sell anymore until the 8th of August. Sorry, is it 8th of August? That I have to read. 8th of August. 8th of August, we do not sell any short-haul flights anymore. This said, big problem. Why? Because now when we buy tickets, they're expensive. If you want to fly from Gatwick, the prices are rising already. They did cancel 30,000 flights. We have to pay more money for that. And of course, it's like in every market. If the demand is there, but the product is not there, it gets more and more expensive. But that is a very unfortunate situation. And the airport in London Heathrow could not deliver. Just a figure to compare it, 100,000 was the maximum. Airport Frankfurt was expecting 200,000, in the end came 180,000, which is nearly double of that what London Heathrow is able to manage. We will see what there is happening. Like always, we want to get happy notes at the end, and I bring you the Deal Zone deal. The Deal Zone deal is an airfare in business class with the Starlines carriers, Lufthansa, Swiss. Of course, then we have United and Air Canada. If you're flying from JFK or from Newark, you can fly for 2,150. Shouldn't get too cheap. This time's unfortunately finished. And fly via Germany or Switzerland to the Middle East, to Dubai. This business class fare is a P fare. Ticket must be issued before September 2022. 14 days before departure, you have to have the ticket issued. Until the first Sunday after arrival is the first possibility of turnaround. Maximum stay is 3 months. Not refundable. And of course, changes are permitted, but has to be reissued. And that means that you have to pay the fare difference. One thing which is maybe interesting for you is the free stopovers which are permitted in Frankfurt, Munich, Zurich and Geneva. So there is a little bit more time you can spend. You can enjoy a nice sausage in Munich. You can enjoy the lounge, enjoy the flight and stay a day in Munich. Maybe you do it when you are coming to one of our tables. Maybe, or Frankfurt. We will have in September new ones. What we are interested in is miles, points and status. With Lufthansa you get 13,768 miles plus 25% executive bonus if you have a frequent traveler, a senator or a Horn Circle card. If you are collecting miles with Scandinavian Airlines Euro bonus, then you get only 13,768, no multiplier, no nothing. Copa has the same, United has the same, Thai, Air India, Aegean, they are all giving the same miles. Then Singapore Airlines is giving you a little bit more, 17,208 miles with Singapore Airlines. But if you're collecting with Air New Zealand, you would get 0. Like I always said, these miles have been calculated by where to credit. So I hope they are more or less right. Thank you for watching Frequent Traveler TV. Take off today's episode. Like always, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment and leave us a like. Thank you for doing so and hope to see you tomorrow for the next episode of Frequent Traveler TV. Thank you. Bye.